everybody. I am Lawrence Presman. You're watching the NFL Presidential Address, the second most watched show on WagerTalk, and without question, the best show on the planet when it comes to NFL picks. If you've never seen this show, we're going to go down the board, top to bottom, every single game. I'm going to give you some analysis, some thoughts, a side, a total, and a few passes along the way as well. Andy Lang will be joining us later on in the show. He'll be giving out 3 props in 3 minutes. Shout out to Andy. He had a 3-0 week last week on this show. As for the Prez, across the board last week, I went 6-6, 1-2 in my best bets. My overall record is 98 wins and 83 losses. That's a hair over 54%, which frankly is outstanding given that it's pretty close to every single game. My best bet record, 66% this year, 23 wins, 12 losses. Stay tuned. I will have 3 best bets for you guys at the end of the show. And my teaser record, 6-2 on the year on this show. And I have a teaser for you guys as well at the end of the show. I got a promo for everybody right off the bat. I had another winning week for my clients in NFL. I went 3-2. That's 7 winning weeks out of the last 9. Up solid profits on the entire year. I have not had a 5% play in the NFL in 4 weeks. I have 2 this weekend. I have 1 on Sunday and 1 on Monday. If you guys want to take advantage of my 5% plays plus all my other plays, use the promo code WEEK89. That's WEEK 89. Get 7 days of all my plays, college hoops, NBA, college football, NHL, and of course, most importantly, NFL with those 2 5% plays. $89. Use the promo code WEEK89. Okay, let's get to it. First game on tap is the Dallas Cowboys going in to play the New Orleans Saints. The original line was -5.5. That was yesterday. Today, we're taping on Wednesday. The line has been moved down to 4.5. There's clearly money coming in on New Orleans. The interesting thing is 62% of the tickets have been written on Dallas, which means that there's some very smart money coming in on New Orleans. For me, I don't get it. I don't see it. Let me break this game down for you as clearly as I can. Offensively, let's look at Dallas. Number 1 in yards gained. Number 2 in points scored. Number 3 in passing yards. Number 7 in rushing yards. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 7. We look at the New Orleans Saints, number 27 in yards gained, number 18 in points scored, number 19 in rushing, number 27 in passing. Offensively, this game shouldn't be close. We are talking about a really good offensive team versus a really bad offensive team. Nice match from an offensive perspective. So let's take a look at the defense. And I get it. A lot of you guys out there are saying, well, the Saints have got a really good defense. Well, hold on to your bridges. They really don't. 23rd in the league in passing yards allowed. That fits Dallas's offense perfectly. The bottom line is the Saints defense is not really as good as most think. Dallas should be able to put up 24 points, no problem. So how many points will the Saints get? Well, they average 24 points a game. But last week versus Buffalo, they put up a whole whopping 2 field goals. I can't see them putting up more than 17 against Dallas. That's maximum. And the fact that McCarthy is out suggests that Dallas is the play as well. My pick on this game, Dallas Cowboys minus the 4.5. Next up, we have Minnesota going into Detroit -7. Last time Minnesota covered 7 was in September. This is a team that plays right to their competition. If they play Green Bay, they put up 38 points. If they play Chicago, they put up 13 points. That's Minnesota for you. This Detroit this Detroit team has hung tough all year, guys. They almost snuck out another W against the Bears. This is the hard luck team of hard luck teams. The biggest problem they have is their passing game. It's just an absolute nightmare. How do we bet this game? Well, we know Minnie is light years better than Detroit, but we also know that Minnie has tons of trouble covering the number 7. I'm passing, guys. I can't bet this game. If a gun was held to my head, like 2 weeks ago, I'd Krav Maga it. But a gun's not held to my head, so pass in this one. Arizona, it was -7 versus Chicago. It's now -8. There are a few 7.5s around. 45.5 is the total. We're expecting Kyler Murray to play. Same with Hopkins. So let's assume, for argument's sake, that they are going to be playing. And if they are, this game has blowout written all over it. Or does it? We have seen this play out before. Once we get into December, and it's in Chicago, with the cold and the snow and the rain and the wind and the hail and pretty much everything else that sucks when it comes to weather, I don't want to be playing in Chicago, especially if I'm a warm weather team like Arizona. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, remember when the Rams made the Super Bowl? They went into Chicago, and this team was a scoring juggernaut. They went in Chicago in December and lost. So be careful, because that Chicago team was no better than this one. I'm concerned about this game, but I just can't see Chicago keeping up with Arizona. I would be very surprised if the Bears put up more than 17 points in this game. Frankly, 13 points would shock me. This team has averaged under 16 points a game. Can Arizona put up 24? I think they can. On top of that, Arizona's defense is better than the Bears' defense. Arizona is 5th in yards allowed, while the Bears are 10th in yards allowed. Arizona is 4th in points allowed, while the Bears are 18th in points allowed. And it's not like a whole bunch of teams are playing from behind against Chicago, so they have to go put up a whole lot of points. This Chicago D is shit. The Chicago O is shit. The coach is shit. There's so much diarrhea going on in Chicago, it's ridiculous. The only thing Chicago's better at Arizona is sucking. They specialize in that. My pick, Arizona, -8. Next up, we got Tampa Bay going into Atlanta, -11. There's now -11.5 on tap in this game. 80% of the tickets have been written on Tampa Bay to date, yet the line is holding. Gotta believe there's some smart guys playing on Atlanta, and to be honest, I'm going to be one of them. Tampa Bay won with smoke and mirrors last week against Indy. I gave out Indy for my clients. I gave out Indy on the show, and I felt like Indy was the right side. Tampa Bay scored 24 points on turnovers. But let's be fair. They still had to score those points, and they still had to march down the field at the end of the game to get a winning touchdown. So kudos to Tampa Bay. It was a great win, but it wasn't a dominating performance, and frankly, they were lucky to get that win. I hate playing Atlanta, man. I have sworn off this team 6 ways from Sunday, but there's just no other way to go in this game. Atlanta is right in the thick of things. They are in the playoff chase, in the wild card chase. It's a division matchup. They're going to play tough. They're playing at home. There's a huge backdoor available to them with 11.5 points. My pick, Atlanta plus 11.5. Next up, we have Denver going into Kansas City, and the line was 10 yesterday. Now it's 9.5. The total in this game is 47. We have 93% of the tickets written to the under in this game. I don't get it. I'm not going to bet the total in this game, but I mean, I'll never bet an under when Kansas City is playing. Right now, we have Denver coming off of a giant win versus the Chargers, and they are still, well, close to a double-digit dog against Kansas City. KC is coming off of a bye and have really started to right their season. More importantly, and I am all your guys. We saw this last year. We're seeing it now. Kansas City's defense last year in the first 8-9 games was horrific. Then they got it together. We're seeing it again now. Kansas City's defense was horrific at the beginning of the season. They are now playing much better. Plus, I wouldn't want to play against the Chiefs this week. Coming off of a bye in a division that's super, super tight. I understand Denver's in must-win mode. I understand Kansas City's in must-win mode. I just don't know how Denver keeps up with this team. Assuming Bridgewater does play, I actually like the over in this game. My pick in this game, Kansas City team total over. It should be around 27.5. I also like the over in total in this game. Sidewise, this is a bad spot for the Broncos. I do lean on Kansas City, but I'm not getting there. My official pick, counted in my record, is Kansas City team total over. Indianapolis playing Houston. Line was -8.5, -9 now. 95% of the tickets have been written on Indianapolis so far. A total of 45.5. A lot of money coming in on the under. Man, this Indy team, God, they are so good, but they just can't get out of their own way. They remind me of like a deeply religious hot girl who's taken a chastity pledge. Just really, really awesome, but really just not good enough. Anyway, Houston, on the other hand, is just plain ugly. I mean, ugly. Like, imagine moles on your forehead with hair coming out. That's how ugly Houston is. There's nothing Houston can do that Indy can't do better. And I mean nothing. I think this game has a blowout all over it. My pick on this game, Indianapolis Colts -9. Next up, we have Philadelphia against the New York Jets. -7 with Philadelphia, a total of 45.5. The Battle of Green. Which green, shitty bag of crap team is going to win this game? If you know, please tweet me at Prez WagerTalk, because I don't know. I lean on the Jets here, guys, but this is an official pass. Now we got the LA Chargers going into Cincinnati, and I gave you all Cincinnati last week, but I also gave you the Chargers. You know, originally I thought to myself, this is a real bad spot for Cincinnati coming off of a demolishing against a very, very big rival in Pittsburgh, a division rival in Pittsburgh. But then, conversely, the Chargers just had a rivalry game too and stunk it up. So I would say this is a bad spot for both teams, but one of them has to win. Sidewise, I can't bet this game, guys. You know, this Chargers team, one week they go out and put up 13, the next week they go out and put up 50. I can't bet teams that are so consistently inconsistent. How's that for a phrase? Consistently inconsistent. So with that said, I'm looking to play the over. Cincinnati is averaging 28 points a game, while the Chargers are at 25 points a game. Both teams are in the top 12 in the league in passing, and both teams have playmakers at wide receiver and can stretch the field. Defensively, Cincinnati has only allowed 20 points per game. But keep in mind, they've played the woeful Pittsburgh Steelers twice. And the Chargers, well, they've allowed 27 points per game. I think, assuming weather is good, I think this game is a stone cold over. 50.5, that's my pick. Next up, we've got the New York Giants going into Miami. And, well, damn it, I say, damn it. I had Miami at -2.5, and it was going to be one of my favorite plays, period. Now it's already -4, but it is still one of my favorite plays. I would have preferred -2.5, though. I absolutely love this spot for Miami. They have just turned the corner. They're on a bit of a run. They've won their last 4 games. Their defense has played outstanding. They're in a wild card chase. They're getting their act together. They are not as injured as they used to be. And then conversely, you look at the Giants, and I hate this spot for the Giants. They just beat a division rival and barely. They are so anemic on offense. It was embarrassing. And if Philly had any type of offense last week, the Giants would have lost. This is a bad football team, and they have been zigzagging for 6 weeks in a row. They won their last game, so it's time for them to lose this one. Miami has been feeling good about themselves and think they have a shot at the playoffs. Not only that, but as I said, their injuries are behind them. They're playing at home, and if they've got any shot to win, they have to win games like this. Now, I want to stop here and say something. A lot of you guys will be thinking, well, they might win the game, but are they going to cover 4? Just to let you know, guys, any line under 6, so -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, or -6, any line under 6, 80% of the games, the line is irrelevant. So don't be scared of 4. If you think Miami's going to win, take them at -4. That's my pick in this game. I also like the under, but at 41, I can't touch it, so I'm going to pass on the total, but my lean is on the under. My pick in this game, for my record, officially, the Miami Dolphins. Now we got Washington against Las Vegas, and we have Las Vegas at -2.5, a total of 49. Vegas looked freaking awesome last week against Dallas, and Washington looked awesome against Seattle. With that said, Seattle is a mess. I mean, Seattle couldn't get out of their own way. This team, you've got an injured Russell Wilson who shouldn't have come back too early. You got a bad wide receiving core, no tight end, crappy running game, one of the worst offensive lines in all of football, and a defense that's mediocre at best. So yeah, Washington won. I get it. And they find themselves in the 7th, 8th spot. Well, whatever. They're tied for the wild card, final wild card spot right now. So they got to be feeling really good about themselves. With all that said, I think Las Vegas is just a better team than Washington. I think Las Vegas has put their losses behind them. I think we're going to see a nice little run from Las Vegas. I'm taking Las Vegas as my official pick at -2.5. Now we move to Baltimore and Pittsburgh, and well, Pittsburgh is a joke. Baltimore is a joke. But yet only one of these jokes are making us laugh. Yes, Baltimore just keeps winning. I think they stink, but their record's outstanding. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. That blows me away. That's why you would think I'd be on Pittsburgh here. I mean, a really crappy Baltimore team who's struggling to score, have bad wide receivers, shitty running backs. You know, all they have is a quarterback who's mediocre at best and a really good tight end. Their defense isn't that great. They're terrible in pass D. You would think I would be on Pittsburgh. Hell freaking no. I can't play Pittsburgh against anybody. Jesus, man, I'd take Detroit over Pittsburgh. Yeah, I like the Ravens in this game, but guys, I prefer the under. I know Cincinnati put up 40-plus points against Pittsburgh, but that was an aberration. There were a lot of turnovers in that game, a lot of short fields, and that game just got out of hand fast. With Watt back and Pittsburgh D healthy, I think they hold Baltimore to under 24 points, and I think they struggle to score more than 17. Baltimore, in their last 3 games, they're scoring 16, 16, and 10. I think they get 17. I think Pittsburgh gets 13. So a predicted score of 17-13, that gets us to 30. That gives us 2 touchdowns to spare on this under. That's my play. Take the under in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Now we go to Jacksonville. They're on the road. They're playing the Rams. The line is 13. The total is 47. 47. Sorry, I screwed that up. 13 and 47.5. So here's the take on this game. If you can't get laid, go to a brothel. If you can't win a hockey game, play the Coyotes. If you hate cold weather, move to the Dominican Republic. If you're in a slump and need to get fixed right quick, play Jacksonville. I don't know what is wrong with the Rams right now. They are all out of sorts. Matt Stafford is not playing well at all. They really haven't been able to find any rhythm in their offense whatsoever. And their defense is blowing my mind. I mean, Ramsey, Miller, Donald, and the rest of them, and they can't seem to stop anyone. But with that said, they are going to win this game. I can't play minus 13, though. This is an official pass. Now we got San Fran playing Seattle. 3 is the number for San Fran. 45.5 is the total. Guys, Seattle's a fade team till the end of the year. Couple of quick things. We've already talked about how bad they are in all aspects. But Russell Wilson is a mess right now. He can't really, he's so out of rhythm. He can't find the right wide receiver to throw to. San Fran has to be feeling super good about themselves. Really had a tough start to the season. Now have put together a nice win streak. They're in playoff position as we speak. I don't know how you can't take San Fran here. Minus the 3 for San Francisco. There's money coming in on Seattle right now, so you don't need to race to bet it. But my pick on this game is minus 3 for San Fran. Now we move to New England and Buffalo. And here's the deal. Every Monday we have at WagerTalk.com $9 Monday. Every play on the board for only $9. Why am I telling you this? Because I have a 5% play on the New England Buffalo game. And if you want to know my thoughts, it will be $9. I'm not giving you a thing on this game. And I'm appealing to you all. About 15,000 of you guys watch this show every single week. You go to a blackjack table, you sit down, you lose 4 hands in a row, then you win a hand. And you tip the dealer. Even though you're 1-4 in your last 5 hands. I don't get it, but that's what you do. So I'm saying to you, if you don't want my 5% on Monday night, no problem. Just buy it anyway. And if you do want my 5% play on Monday night, no problem. Just buy it. WagerTalk.com. Only $9. I would appreciate that. Thank you. Consider it part of the gratuity economy, if you will. That's my take. Andy Lang joining us. The awesome, the incredible, the spectacular Andy Lang. 3 props in 3 minutes. I hand the mic to you.
Thank you, Prez. You continue to be a beautiful man, one of the best-looking hosts on Wager Talk. Let's get to 3 props in 3 minutes. We're coming off a really, really nice 3-0 week last week. We're going to start with the Seattle Seahawks. Team total under 20.5 points. They've scored 20 or fewer points in 5 out of their last 6 games. And the one game they did go over was against the Jacksonville Jaguars, not a defensive juggernaut right now. Russell Wilson, very, very inaccurate right now. His passes are going all over the place. The offense is a mess. Personally, I think he came back too early from his injury. And now they get the 49ers, who are rolling. 49ers have played incredible 3 weeks in a row. They've held the ball for over 37 minutes in 3 straight games. They gave up 26 points to Minnesota last week, but before that, 10 points to the Jaguars, 10 to the Rams. If they're going to hold the ball for 38, 39 minutes, it's going to be really, really tough to see Seattle punching in enough touchdowns to get over this 20.5. I will absolutely take the Seahawks under 20.5 points. They're only averaging 4.8 yards per play the last 3 games, 6th worst in the NFL. Seahawks are fade material. Next play, you know, the price on Jonathan Taylor to score 1 touchdown is going to be so juiced. I'm going to sprinkle him to score 2 touchdowns. It's not a huge play, but just sprinkle a little bit on this. He has 16 touchdowns this season, and he has 4 games with 2 or more touchdowns. One of those games was earlier this year where he had 2 against Houston. The Jets last week had 2 rushing touchdowns against Houston. The Colts throttled the Texans earlier this year, 31-3. I expect another similar performance. This is a really, really good opportunity for Taylor to get a couple touchdowns. If this prop is plus 200 or more, it's worth a small play. Final play, I'm going to go Travis Kelce under 74.5 receiving yards. I love this spot for an under. So he's coming off a 74-yard performance against the Cowboys and a 119-yard performance against the Raiders. Here's the issue with those numbers. The Raiders give up the 4th most receiving yards to tight ends. The Cowboys give up the 7th most receiving yards to tight ends. The Broncos, they are great against tight ends. 7th best team defending tight ends. They only give up 40.8 yards a game. They also have that two-headed monster running game, which could limit the amount of possessions that the Chiefs have if the Chiefs struggle to slow down the Broncos' rushing attack. I don't see a whole lot of catches and a whole lot of yards for Kelce. I think he comes in just under this total. So quick recap, Seahawks under 20.5 team total points. Jonathan Taylor on a sprinkle to score 2 touchdowns or more, and Travis Kelce under 74.5 receiving yards. Back to you, Prez, you sexy, sexy man, you.
Thank you so much, Andy, and thanks for the kind words. I mean, listen, I appreciate you, heterosexual, schmexual men noticing the handsomeness of the guy they call the Prez. So thanks for the shout out, brother. I love having you on the show. Anyway, just real quick, guys, I got 3 best bets for you. I got a teaser for you, but I want to remind you all, please use the promo code WEEK89, WEEK89, $89 for a week of all my plays. I will have 2 5% plays, one on Sunday and one on Monday. For you guys who don't want to buy picks, no problem at all. If you enjoy this video, just head over to WagerTalk and buy my 5% play for Monday. It's $9. Consider it a thank you. As for your best bets, I like Baltimore and Pittsburgh under the total of 44. I like Cincinnati and the Chargers over the total of 50. And I like the Atlanta Falcons at plus 11. My 3 best bets for the show, Baltimore under, Cincinnati over, and the Atlanta Falcons. My teaser is a 2-team 6.5 point teaser. It's very important that you take the half point. The reason is, if you guys have never bet teasers, if you push on one of the games, it is considered a loser. So I need to get Indianapolis under the 3. My 6.5 point 2-team teaser, Indy minus 2.5, Rams minus the 6. It has been a pleasure doing this show. I love you guys and the comments you make. The comments are just spectacular. I am so appreciative of them all. I am Lawrence Presman. We will see you next week. Have an incredible week, everybody, and let's win more football games.